Meanwhile, pre-season friendlies, of course, taking place across the world this weekend, including Manchester United taking on Rangers. Manchester United win by 2-0. No, Jadon Sancho played in that game, so did new signing Euro as well. We talked about it yesterday, didn't we? Ten Hag's exclusive interview in the Dutch media. The second part was released today. We want this club back to where it was more than a decade ago, to a club that wins the Premier League, which can win Champions League. We are really a long way away from that, I think. Shaka, you got to get involved in this.
Come on, Shaka. Come on. Roll your sleeves up.
The theme of Ten Hag's interview, it seems, is excuses and quite downbeat. Yeah. Going into the start of the season, he brought up Ralph Rangnick was right when he said, the club was a mess. Should he be so negative? Is this honesty productive?
Or is it just realistic? And let's be honest, Manchester United are just coming off under Ten Hag's kind of viewing or running their worst Premier League season ever. And so I think what you're seeing is kind of a lowering of the bar, the expectation for this season and as to where they were last season. And he may very well be right, but I don't think any supporter wants to hear the manager talking about their team this way. I don't think any of the players want to hear their team talking about, their manager talking about the team this way.
But it's a bit of a 180, isn't it? Because you think after all those rubbish performances we saw at the end of the season, he's like, it's great, we're going in the right direction, a lot of positivities, and now he's got the job. Now he's saying, it's the hardest job in the world. Yeah.
Well, he told people that you're just not seeing the progress.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the line.
Yeah. That line seems to have been lost quite a lot now.
Yeah, you just can't see the progress. I mean, a FA Cup, a couple of games against Liverpool and the FA Cup final apart, they couldn't get much lower. They were lower than, the bar was so low, it was lower than a snake's belly last year. That's how bad it was. But look, I said the other day, he can guffaw on all he wants for the next 3 weeks or whatever it is. At the end of the day, we're going to be judging him. There is no excuses when the season starts. It will be his third year. He has been given another amazing opportunity that he probably shouldn't have got. And so, look, you don't have to be Einstein to know they're not Man City and not Arsenal, and certainly not Liverpool or any of these sides that were vying for the title last year. But good grief, you can be better than some of the other dross that's in the Premier League, and it is. They'll tell you it's the best league in the world and all this. Well, not from the bottom half down. It's not from probably 8th place down. It's garbage. For the money they spend, it's garbage. And Man United were outplayed by a bunch of that garbage last year. And from his point of view, there's no selling point for him this year for the results that they got last year against some of these teams. There's not. There's no excuses. There's not, we didn't sign the right player in the summer. We haven't got this defender. We haven't got that defender. Casemiro can't run. There's no out for him this year. Yeah, City whopped them by 4-0 or 5. Yeah, so what? City are a better side. But I'm looking for better performances against the rest in the Premier League. Not to be outplayed by Newcastle, not to be outplayed by West Ham, not to be outplayed by Bournemouth at home, not be outplayed by a Championship side in the FA Cup. That's what I'm looking for. Stuff that they should be better at, that they were not. I'm not expecting Man United to be going for titles. I'm not expecting them to be doing all this sort of stuff. They're not good enough. The coach, the players, but I am expecting them to be competitive or better than that against the rest of the Premier League.
Here's the thing with Ten Hag and this statement, and again, I agree. I think he's totally right in everything that he says. But he brings up Rangnick and Rangnick seeing what he did back whenever that was. The question for Erik Ten Hag is, how quickly did he recognise that in coming through the doors at Old Trafford? And are Manchester United 2 years on closer to where they need to be or closer to the Manchester Cities of the Premier League? Given their finish, I don't think so. I don't think you can claim as much. So while, yes, you're being honest and realistic in what you're saying, in 2 years, in 2 years under your management, I think the club has regressed. And that's entirely on you and has nothing to do with players, with the club, with anything else. They've regressed.
And he knows that he knows deep down, no matter what he says to the press, no matter what he says in public, he knows the new investors, it's not the new ownership, the new investors who are running the football department, he knows deep down they really aren't sure about him. In fact, I think they are sure.
Well, of course they don't. They're interviewing everyone else.
Yes, but they really don't rate him like other people think. So he knows that. I mean, the removal van was outside his house for about 6 weeks, waiting to pack it up. And whilst it was there, you know, waiting to get the sofas and the beds and all the stuff to go back to Holland, they were talking to everybody. They were talking to De Zerbi, they were talking to Pochettino, they were talking to all these people. And then they said, we found the right man. So after all, it's Erik. He's the man. And he went, yeah, told you. I know. Look, I know my bosses were talking to other people, but they've told me I'm the best guy. It's nonsense. So he knows there's a clause in his contract that has triggered the new deal, whatever it is. Make of that what you want. At the end of the day, if they have a disastrous start to the season, within the first 3 months, if it was as bad as last year, he'll be gone. I think that he'll be gone. And everybody's going to look
Arise, Sir
foolish.
Gareth. There we go.
The very man.